Hello Taurus, my name is Jason. This is your general tarot reading for mid-February 2019. So this will take you right through the second half of February, perhaps into March, give or take a week or so. I think you know how it works. You'll know in the first couple of minutes if this is resonating for you. If it's not, please check out your rising sign, your moon sign readings that I have there for you, and I'm pretty sure one of those will hit the nail on the head for you, and I'd really appreciate any feedback on if it does. Okay, for now, Taurus, you go into the second half of February with the Nine of Swords. Okay, so the Nine of Swords indicates a state of mind which has you perhaps overthinking something, or wishing that you'd taken an opportunity, or just maybe someone said something, I'm thinking, and you've taken it the wrong way, perhaps, or you've either taken it the wrong way or it's made you realise something about yourself that you're not necessarily happy to accept. Overthinking something perhaps and losing a bit of sleep. Okay, we'll clarify that anyway. Now, your challenge for the second half of February, Taurus, you have the Two of Wands. What a fantastic card. Okay, so the Two of Wands indicates that you're in quite a good position, a strong position, and you're looking out into the world. And you see this character has the world in their hands. They're in a pretty good position, overlooking their domain, if you like. Fairly well-dressed character, high above, looking at their opportunities. And you're looking for an opportunity or trying to make a decision which appeals to your passion. So it looks like you're trying to make a decision or follow a path which appeals to your passion and satisfies some practical needs. So if you have a look at the bottom left-hand corner, there you'll see the rose crossed by the lily. The rose represents the passion, and the lily represents, the white flower, represents the more objective side of things. And what you're doing there is you're choosing a path which is going to marry those two together. So your challenge is, because it's in this position here, is to decide one way or another which way you're going to go. I'm feeling though that there's not much pressure there. This is really about you coming from a position of strength, but you don't want to be sitting on the fence. You want to be moving along somehow, because you're a bit worried that you don't know what's around the next corner. And even though you don't know what's around the next corner, this Nine of Swords might be saying to you, hurry up, hurry up. So I'm feeling you might be putting yourself under a little too much pressure, but we'll clarify this and have a look. Okay, your hopes and fears position, you have the Sun card. Fantastic. So you're really looking quite optimistic, feeling optimistic about things generally. And so you've made this decision here, or you're working on making this decision, and whatever it is, you're hoping for this beautiful sense of rebirth almost. You'll see the awareness, you'll see the vulnerability, and you're going to be feeling happy to be vulnerable. And that's the position you're trying to get to by the looks of it. So we'll see how that goes. But it looks like you're really you're trying to make this decision or take this pathway which is going to line things up for you. I'm not sure if this is a work reading or a love reading or relationship or something about what's going on at home. Something will come. We'll keep chipping away. You'll know what this is talking about if it's working for you. And in the best attitude position, you have the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords talks about clarity, clear thinking, and making a decision, cutting out what's not serving you. So this sword is a gift from the universe, really, which allows you to take the opportunity to cut out what's not right for you. So perhaps if there are people there around you who are not acting in your best interests, or you don't feel really easy with them, there's an opportunity coming for you now, a pathway to take, which is going to allow you to get rid of them. And I know that sounds harsh, get rid of them, because they're not necessarily nasty people. It's just that they don't gel with you. Could also be about a job. You might be finally getting ready to just cut loose from a job that you've had, or a relationship, something there, and it looks like things are lining up for you. It's going to allow you to do that, and you're going to be so liberated by that decision when you finally make it, when you take this pathway. I think you'll make the right decision, Taurus. And at the end of this month, at the end of this period, the outcome is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups can indicate confusion, but can also indicate many choices. And the way you approach this many choices will depend on your attitude. So you can see these many choices here. Each one of these cups has a different opportunity, a different result, a different pathway. And you might be thinking, well, this is great, or you might be thinking, oh no, like the football coach who has so many good players on their team and has to choose which ones to leave out. Okay, either that, or you could be overwhelmed. You might be feeling overwhelmed and confused by all these things which are coming at you, and you may not be feeling that you'll be able to cope with all these different avenues. And so I'm feeling that this challenge for you here is to choose one way, but maybe the one way is not the way to go. Maybe you're being called to have your finger in a few different pies, but having the clarity of mind or clarity of thought to decide which pies need to be, you need to have your finger in, if you like. So you have a lot of skills here, you have a lot of opportunities coming toward you if you use the energies correctly, but it's going to require you to cut something out. And when you do, you are going to feel so clear and so liberated, like I say. Okay, now I'll just clarify some of these with the Hanson Roberts deck here. So why is the Nine of Swords here for Taurus, which is really, I'm really seeing some great opportunities here for Taurus. Taurus, you're in a pretty good position as far as decision making goes. It's just that perhaps you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by these choices that are coming up for you in this period. It could be about a relationship. Maybe Valentine's Day's offered you a couple of different choices or opportunities, and you're fighting with yourself about which one to take. Well, that's sort of, maybe a lot of people love to be in that position. Absolutely nothing happening for me. No one's interested. Okay, there we go. You have the Seven of Cups clarifying the Nine of Swords. So it looks like you're being kept awake at night by all these choices that you have. So perhaps you're feeling overwhelmed by the number of choices that you've got. And the guidance there is to just cut out what you know is not working for you. And you'll know intuitively, I think, out of all these choices you have, which one is going to make the best long-term partnership or long-term vibe for you. Okay, whether it's a job or whether it's a person, you already know. I'm feeling that if it's about people, then there's one energy where there's lots of fire and passion, but it might fizzle out when things settle down. Or there's another energy here which is right for you, and I think you're almost consciously aware. You're almost going for this passion, saying, yes, I want this, but knowing that it might not be the best thing for you. But we'll have a look at this. So the challenge is to decide the passion. Which pathway should you take? Okay, let's have a look here. You have the Six of Swords. Okay, so the Six of Swords talks about gathering what's important, realizing what's important, basically realizing what's working for you and what's not, taking what is and moving away. Okay, so this is moving away from whatever it is and towards something better. Okay, so your challenge is to make this decision again. And because it's the Six of Swords, you're being asked really to move away from wherever it is now that you're in. So if if you're in maybe a dead-end job or a dead-end relationship, you're being asked to really look out there, bite the bullet, and just get in that boat and go off to that place, whatever it is, that direction. And don't be afraid to not have the final destination in mind. Just have a general direction for yourself, is what I'm feeling. If you try to pinpoint your goal too finally, then it might just become overwhelming for you here. Like we've got a couple of sevens of cups here, which might indicate that. But let's have a look at the Sun card. Your hopes. What are you hoping for, Taurus? Why is the Sun card here in the hopes and fears position for Taurus? Please clarify the Sun card, even though the Sun doesn't really need clarifying because it's so bright and it just illuminates the whole spread, really. When it comes up, it talks about you want your enlightenment, you want your awakening, you want this new birth. But clarify that, and you have the Two of Cups. Okay, so whatever it is, this is starting to look like could be a relationship, but it also could be trade or business. The Two of Cups does talk about soulmates, if you like, or real happiness with one person, but it also talks about equal give and take in some kind of trade agreement in business. So perhaps if you've been thinking of what kind of business to go into, perhaps you see that the two people here are really sort of besotted with each other, and their relationship is protected by that winged lion there. You see how the wings are covering the couple, but the staff coming up between them with the snakes wrapped around it. That's an ancient symbol of trade, which ancient mariners used to take with them, and it symbolised equal give and take. So that could be part of it as well. But look, it's a beautiful card to have, and matched with the Sun, you've got some real strong ambition to be with either some person that you really want to work with. This soulmate energy is really strong here. And if it's not the soulmate as a person, it's like following a passion that you have, some kind of business idea. Now, remember, the best attitude was to cut out what is not working for you, because there may be too much clutter in there with the two Seven of Cups in this reading. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of decisions, and you might be feeling a bit overwhelmed by that. So why is the Ace of Swords here in the best attitude position? Please clarify the Ace of Swords for Taurus. And you have there the Ace of Rods, the Ace of Wands. So it does look like a new beginning, a new start for something. You're really being encouraged. When you get the Ace of Wands or the Ace of Rods, there's plenty of fiery passion there. Okay, it's the universe giving you this passion, and because it's in the best attitude position and it's clarifying the Ace of Swords, this is all about start. Get it going, get it moving. Cut out what you don't want. Don't be afraid to move forward. What a beautiful start. So it could be about relationship, could be about business, but because it's also over here in your challenge position to don't be afraid to move on, it's looking like get rid of the old and start new. Keep it fresh, Taurus. This is a fantastic reading. So if you've been wondering whether you should stay or should you go, the cards here seem to be saying, yes, make yourself a new start. If there's anything toxic or negative or unsettling about where you're at in a negative way, then just move on. The time seems to be just right now, and the opportunities will come. The opportunities with the Seven of Cups. Okay, so plenty of choice here for you. If you're not overwhelmed by it, why is the Seven of Cups here? This is a fantastic reading, Taurus. Hope you're excited. There we go. And the Seven of Cups is clarified by the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles generally talks about holding on to something, okay? Now, the Pentacles represent money. You just need to protect yourself a little bit. So I'm thinking there are going to be something to invest in, whether it's investing in something material like a business or some business products, or if it's investing in a person, so emotionally, this card is just asking you to slow down a little bit and just, even though you want to get something started, don't put all your eggs in one basket too quickly. And I think you'll be pretty good at that anyway, Taurus, because you know how to look in the long term, and security and stability is generally pretty important to you. So look, that's looking like a great reading here, really. So it's saying to me you're going to have lots of choices. Your goals are well worth chasing with the Sun and the Soulmate card, the Two of Cups. Yet moving on with the Six of Swords into something that you're passionate about. This is the Two of Wands here. And the best attitude says, yes, go for it. The Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Far out. Do it, Taurus. This is a great time to do it. Second half of February. If you've been really wondering about getting something started, leaving the old, now's the time to do it. So look, I really hope this has resonated for you and it's given you some gusto here. It's really feeling that way for me, for you. Please like and give me a comment and let me know how it goes, and we'll talk again in a couple of weeks.